Good evening, everyone. No, I am not the entertainment. Sorry to disappoint. I am, however, Mike Worcester. I'm the director here at Great River Arts. I want to thank you all for coming tonight. When I was a younger boy, I was living up in northern Minnesota. And when you're of a certain age and you lived in the rural areas, you didn't get a lot for television. Okay, you maybe got a couple channels. We got 3. I felt pretty lucky about that. But in our household, there was some required viewing. For example, we always, and my parents always made sure we had this on, we always had to watch Lawrence Welk. I knew it. I knew somebody would say that. Okay. And we always had to watch Hee Haw. And we always had to watch Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. There was one other show that we always had to watch, and it was called The Undersea World of Jacques Cousteau. And it was one of my favorites. I don't know why. It just was. But I loved it. Jacques Cousteau had a very famous ship. Anybody remember that name? The Calypso. And if you didn't know that ship by watching the show, you knew that ship by a very famous song performed by a very famous artist. Our group tonight is going to help you bring back many of those memories of that very famous artist. So it is my distinct pleasure to welcome to the stage here at Great River Arts, performing a tribute to the wonderful John Denver, Layne Yost and his band.
Well, thank you for being here. Oh, well, thank you for welcoming us so warmly to Little Falls, Minnesota. We have never been in this region before. This is fun. So, this is a tribute to the music of John Denver. And you probably have noticed that this is not like a impersonation show. It's not like the Elvis guys do Elvis. I know the resemblance is uncanny. There's a storm across the valley. Clouds are rolling in. The afternoon is heavy on my shoulder. There's a truck out on the 4-lane, a mile or more away. The whining of his wheels just makes it colder. He's an hour away from writing all your prayers up in the sky. 10 days on the road are barely gone. There's a fire softly burning, supper's on the stove. It's the light in your eyes that keeps him warm. Here we go, we're gonna sing this part. Hey, it's good to be back home again. You know it is. Sometimes this old farm feels like a long lost friend. And hey, it's good to be back home again. You guys are good. Well, there's all the news to tell him. How'd you spend your time? And what's the latest thing the neighbors say? And your mother called last Friday. Sunshine made her cry. Felt the baby move just yesterday. Here we go. Hey, it's good to be back home again. You know it is. Sometimes this old farm feels like a long lost friend. And hey, it's good to be back home again. And all the time that I can't lay this tired old body down, feel your fingers feather soft upon me. The kisses that I live for, the love that lights my way, the happiness living with you brings me. It's the sweetest thing I know of. time with you. It's the little things that make a house a home, like a fire softly burning, supper's on the stove. It's the light in your eyes that makes me warm. Here we go. Hey, it's good to be back home again. You know it is. Sometimes it's so fun, feels like a long lost friend. And hey, it's good to be back home again. One more time, everybody now. Hey, it's good to be back home again. You know it is. Sometimes it's so fun, feels like a long lost friend. And hey, it's good to be back home again. I said, hey, it's good to be back home again. You guys are good. All right, so 1974, 1975 in John Denver's life was extremely important. It's kind of when he hit his peak. We just sang the title album from the album Back Home Again. We're going to be talking about that time period throughout our show tonight. So keep that in mind. And it probably as an album contained more of his hits than any other album except the Greatest Hits compilations. This one was from, also from Back Home Again, come to think of it. So, okay, we're going to do this one. This one moves along a little bit faster. Lost and alone on some forgotten highway, traveled by many, remembered by few, looking for something that I can believe in, looking for something I'd like to do with my life. There's nothing behind me and nothing that ties me to something might have been true yesterday. Tomorrow is open. Right now it seems to be more than enough. Just be here today. And I don't know what the future is holding in store. Don't know where I'm going, not sure where I've been. There's a spirit that guides me, light that shines for me. My life is worth the living, don't need to see the end. Sing with me, here we go. Sweet, sweet surrender. Live, live without care. Like a fish in the water, like a bird in the air. Lost and alone on some forgotten highway, traveled by many, remembered by few, looking for something that I can believe in, looking for something that I like to do with my life. Well, there is nothing behind me and nothing that ties me to something might have been true yesterday. Tomorrow is open. Right now it seems to be more than enough. Just be here today. And I don't know what the future is holding in store. Don't know where I'm going, not sure where I've been. Spirit guides me, light that shines for me. My life is worth the living, don't need to see the surrender. Live without care, like a fish in the water, like a bird in the air. Way to go. Woo-hoo. You did it.
Thank you.
Good job, Layne.
Thank you. Thank you. I have a confession to make. I'm really glad that song is over. About once every 5 or 6 times when I sing that song, I put the birds in the water and the fish in the air. And it's like there's no way to recover from that, because in my mind I'm picturing these birds. It's like, oh, no. So this next song is not technically hard to play on the guitar, but it's hard for me to play because this song touches me very, very deeply. It's a song that I would play at open mics, and you have open mics here, which I've heard are really, really fun and good. And I would play this, and every time I would play it, I would apologize before I played it, because I would talk about it being cheesy. Okay, and I could laugh it off because, I was born and raised just south of Green Bay, and I'm a cheesehead. And so, no, be nice now. Be nice now.
Oh, hold him back, hold him back.
And I would always pass it off that I'm a cheesehead so I can sing a cheesy song. And then preparing for these shows, and we've been doing these going on 7 years now. I've read 3 biographies, John Denver's autobiography. I've watched numerous documentaries. I learned about the background of this song. And this song was actually written in 1969, finished in 70, and he was polishing it up. And it was originally released in 1971, but it didn't become famous until it was on his greatest hits album in 73. And it was written at the time, at a very, very dark time in our country. The Watergate hearings had just begun. We were still recently mourning the death of Martin Luther King Jr. And this is the hard part for me. U.S. casualties in Vietnam had just exceeded 57,000. Now, I lost some friends over there. So this is a hard one for me. You're going to recognize this, and so I'm going to count on you, in the chorus especially, to help me along, because I've been known to miss a word or two. It's not because I don't know them. It's just, it's a hard one for me. So on a rainy day outside of Minneapolis, in a diner, in fact, John Denver in a motel room wrote this song to give us hope.
Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Sunshine in my eyes make me cry. Sunshine on the water looks so lovely. Sunshine almost always makes me high. If I had a day I could give you, give to you a day just like today. If I had a song I could sing for you, sing a song to make you feel this way. Sing with me. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Sunshine in my eyes can make me cry. Sunshine on the water looks so lovely. almost always makes me high. If I had a tale, I could tell you, tell a tale sure to make you smile. If I had a wish, I could wish for you. Make a wish, sunshine all the while. Here we go. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Sunshine in my eyes can make me cry. Sunshine on the water looks so lovely. Sunshine almost always makes me high. Sunshine almost all the time makes me high. Sunshine almost always. Thank you. I really appreciate your help on that song. So that was on the Greatest Hits CD. How many people had that Greatest Hits CD or the album? I had both because I wore the album out. And CDs hadn't been invented yet. So, yeah, I went to school during the Jurassic period, so. So, the song. One last comment about the song "Sunshine on My Shoulders." The reviewer for Rolling Stone magazine called it a wretched weeping ballad. So John Denver was a little bit like Rodney Dangerfield. He didn't get any respect. And we're going to be talking about that in a little more serious tone as the show goes on. But he was never really accepted into the folk community. That was dominated by Bob Dylan and Peter, Paul, and Mary on their nylon string guitars at that time. And he was never really accepted into the country community, which at that time was Hank Sr., finishing up end of Tennessee, Ernie Ford, Vaughn Monroe. That was their tail end of their careers. So, and it didn't fit real well. This next song we're going to do moves along a little bit faster pace. It's not one of his more well-known, but you'll hear it if you ever watch public TV, because they will always show when they're fundraising the wildlife concert, the John Denver Wildlife Concert. This is one of the songs from the Wildlife Concert. It's also on the album The Flower That Shattered This Stone. Horses are creatures that worship the earth. They gallop on hooves of ivory, strained by the wonder, dying in birth. The horses still run, they are free. My body is merely a shell of my soul, but the flesh must be given its due. Like a pony that carries his rider back home, like an old friend that's tired and been eagles inhabit the heavenly heights. They know neither limits nor bounds. An angel, darkness and light. They see all and hear every sound. My spirit will never be captured or caught, for the soul is a free-flying thing, like an eagle that needs neither comfort nor thought, to rise up on glorious wings.
I had a vision of eagles and horses, high on a ridge in a race with the wind, going higher and higher, faster and faster, on eagles and horses. I'm flying again, flying again, flying again.
My body is merely a shell of my soul, but the flesh must be given its due, like a pony that carries his master back home, like an old friend that's tried and been true. My spirit will never be captured or caught, for the soul is a free-flying thing, like an eagle that needs neither comfort nor thought, to rise up on glorious wings.
Well, I had a vision of eagles and horses, high on a ridge in a race with the wind, going higher and higher, faster and faster, on eagles and horses. I'm flying again, flying again, flying again, flying again, flying again.
All right, so this is a song from that Greatest Hits album. You know, that sold over 10 million. It was 9 times platinum, the one that album, that first Greatest Hits. It was the best-selling compilation of album and CD for, I think it was 24 years. It outsold everything else. It wasn't surpassed until the mid-90s. And then I think it was, I forget what album finally beat it, but it was, yeah. So this is a song from that. And it is, it's called Starwood in Aspen, and it's one of the, it's John's wife's favorite song that we do.
It's a long way from LA to Denver, long time to hang in the sky, long way home to Starwood in Aspen, my sweet Rocky Mountain paradise, my sweet Rocky Mountain paradise. Springtime is rolling around slowly, gray skies are bringing me down. Can't remember when I've ever been so lonely. I've forgotten what it's like to be home. Can't remember what it's like to be home. Think on my lady's sweet memories. I think on my children's sweet smiles. Think on my home, Starwood in Aspen, my friends and snow-covered hills. My friends are snow-covered hills. Tell you I'm happy to be here, to share and consider this time, see here the shadows of changes, the feeling of new friends to find, see here some new friends to find. It's a long way from this place, Denver. It's a long time to hang in the sky. It's a long way home to Starwood and Aspen, the sweet Rocky Mountain paradise, the sweet Rocky Mountain paradise. Thank you. As a dream is born in darkness, a seed begins to grow. Land provides the shelter, the dream provides the glow. We have this dream, America, a vision bright and clear. In the freedom we are seeking, we have planted ourselves here. In the space we call living, we'll see what we can be. In the space that we call sharing, we'll raise a family. As a dream is born in darkness, a vision bright and clear. A land provides a shelter, we have planted ourselves here. In the rain and in the sunshine, we'll make this land our home. This land is home. This land is home. This is our home. Thank you. So John Denver, the creative spirit that he was the son of an Air Force officer, which had a couple of implications. His dad was very, very much the authoritarian, and John Denver was just this free spirit. And as you can guess, they just clash. And John Denver ran away from home one time, stole the family car, and was on his way to Los Angeles with his guitar. His dad rented an airplane, flew over the highway he knew he would take, and he found him and brought him home. I don't know if he landed on the highway. I don't think so. But somehow he got him home. So that was kind of an interesting story. Yeah. But a lot of John Denver's songs are autobiographical in nature. So Rocky Mountain High, perfect example. You heard me sing about that part where they try to tear the mountains down to bring in a couple more people, more scars upon the land. Aspen, Colorado was in the running to host the 1974 Winter Olympics. And John Denver did not want the Olympics to be there. And if you've ever gone to Calgary, you can see what happens to a town after the Olympics have come and gone. And he knew that that would happen. So he worked very, very hard. And that was the year that the committee actually decided to put the Olympics in
Japan, Sapporo, Japan. So he writes those things into his songs. He had this horrible relationship with his dad, but he got along famously with his uncle. Now, his uncle's name was Dean, and he wanted to write a song about Dean, but he couldn't figure a way of working Dean into the lyrics. So he took a little bit of artistic license, and he wrote this song, and he called it Matthew. It's close.
Had an uncle named was Matthew, was his father's only boy. He's born this side of Colby, Kansas. He was his mother's pride and joy. Yes, and joy was just a thing he was raised on. Love was just a way to live and die. Oh, just a windy Kansas wheat field. Blue was the Kansas summer sky. And all the stories that he told me back when he was just a lad, and all the memories that he gave me about the good time that he had. He's growing up a Kansas farm boy, and life was mostly having fun. He's riding on his daddy's shoulders, behind a mule beneath the sun. Yes, and joy was just a thing he was raised on. Love was just a way to live and die. Oh, just a windy Kansas wheat field. Blue was the Kansas summer sky. Well, I guess there were some hard times, and I'm told some years were lean. He had a storm in 47. Twister came and it stripped them clean. He lost his farm, he lost his family. He lost his wheat, he lost his home. But he found the family Bible. His faith is solid as a stone. Yes, and joy was just a thing he was raised on. Love was just a way to live and die. Oh, just a windy Kansas wheat field. Blue was the Kansas summer sky. So he came to live at our house, and he came to work the land. He came to ease my daddy's burden, and he came to be my friend. And so I wrote this down for Matthew. It's for him the song is sung. He's riding on his daddy's shoulders, behind a mule beneath the sun. Listen, joy was just a thing he was raised on. Love was just a way to live and die. Oh, just a windy Kansas wheat field. Blue was the Kansas summer sky. Listen, joy was just a thing he was raised on. Love was just a way to live and die. Oh, just a windy Kansas wheat field. Blue was the Kansas summer sky.
Thank you so much. So we're going to play for you the song that John Denver considered his greatest love song. So the tumultuous time that he had living with Annie, married to Annie, they divorced, and he was in Australia, and he wrote this song in 1981. He wrote this song, and his feelings were so strong still for Annie that he had it FedEx overnight to her so that she could read the lyrics before he sang it in Australia the next day. He considered this his greatest love song. When he released it as a duet with Placido Domingo.
He also did it famously without Placido Domingo.
One of these days, I'm going to get him to sing the Placido part. He shakes his head. So this is my good friend John Shimoda on bass. And you've heard the marvelous instrumentals and virtuoso Carol McDowell. Listen to the last refrain lyrics on this. They're some of my favorite lyrics. Perhaps love is like a resting place, a shelter from the storm. It exists to give you comfort. It's there to keep you warm. And in those times of trouble, when you are most alone, memories of love will bring you home. Perhaps love is like a window, perhaps open door. It invites you to come closer. It wants to show you more. And even if you lose yourself and don't know what to do, the memories of love will see you through. Oh, love to some is like a cloud, and some is strong as steel. And some say love is holding on, some say letting go. And some say love is living, and something way to feel. Some say love is everything, some say they don't know. Some say love is like that ocean, full of conflict, full of pain. Like a fire when it's cold outside, and thunder when it rains. If I should live forever and all my dreams come true, my memories of love will be of you. And some say love is holding on, and some say letting go. And some say love is everything, some say they don't know. Perhaps love is like that ocean, full of conflict, full of pain. Like a fire when it's cold outside, and thunder when it rains. If I should live forever and all my dreams come true, my memories of love will be of you. My memories of love will be of you.
What?
If I should live forever and all my dreams come true, my memories of love will be of you. He's in Australia, and he sends this to her after they're divorced for a few years. Yep. This next song is also a duet that John Denver recorded. This is a duet that he recorded with Olivia Newton-John. So for those of you who are singers, you probably were singing along with this when you were listening to that album. It's called Fly Away.
All of her days have gone soft and cloudy. All of her dreams have gone dry. All of her nights have gone sad and shady. She's getting ready to fly. Fly away. Fly away. Fly away. Life in the city can make you crazy. The sounds of the sand and the sea.
I love the sea.
Life in a high-rise can make you hungry. The things that you can't even see. Fly away. Fly away. Fly away. In this whole world, there's nobody lonely as she.
Nobody as lonely as me.
Nowhere to go, and there's no place she'd rather be. She's looking for lovers and children playing. She's looking for signs of the spring.
Where is the
Listens for laughter and sounds of dancing. She listens for any old thing. Fly away, fly away, fly away. In this whole world, there's nobody lonely as she.
There's nobody as lonely as me.
Nowhere to go, and there's no place she'd rather be. All of her days have gone soft and cloudy. All of her dreams have gone dry.
Where are my
All of her nights have gone sad and shady. She's getting ready to fly, fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away.
Thank you. So the next song is one of the songs that I heard people say that would kind of enjoy hearing tonight. And we've got just a couple more songs we take before we take a little break for an intermission. It'll be about 10, 15 minutes. The second set is better. So if you're thinking of leaving, please don't. It's actually, yeah. I've been to most of my shows.
When I was a little bitty boy, just up off the floor, we used to go down to Grandma's house every month and have chicken pie, country ham, homemade butter on the bread. But the best thing about Grandma's house was a great big feather bed. It was 9 feet high, 6 feet wide, soft as a downy chick. It was made from the feathers of 40-11 geese, took a whole bolt of cloth for the tick. It would hold 8 kids, 4 hound dogs, and a piggy we stole from the shed. We didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed. After supper, we'd sit around the fire, the old folks would spit and chew. Pa would talk about the farm and the war, Granny sing a ballad or two. I'd sit and I'd listen, I'd watch that file till the cobwebs filled my head. Next thing I know, I'd wake up in the morning in the middle of the old feather bed. It was 9 feet high, 6 feet wide, soft as a downy chick. It was made from the feathers of 40-11 geese, took a whole bolt of cloth for the tick. It would hold 8 kids, 4 hound dogs, and a piggy we stole from the shed. We didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed. Well, I love my ma and I love my pa. I love Granny, Grandpa too. I went fishing with my uncle and I wrestled with my cousin and I even kissed Aunt Lou. Ooh, if I ever had to make a choice, yes, it ought to be said, I'd trade them all, plus a gal down the road from the great big feather bed. Yeah, I'd trade them all, plus a gal down the road.
Maybe I better reconsider about that gal down the road. She is from northern Minnesota, you know.
It was 9 feet high, 6 feet wide, soft as a downy chick. It was made from the feathers of 40-11 geese, took a whole bolt of cloth for the tick. It would hold 8 kids, 4 hound dogs, and a piggy we stole from the shed. Didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed. We didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed.
Fun.
Just a little bit of background. I would play at a place in Eau Claire called Fanny Hill. And it's like 3 parts. They had a bed and breakfast, and they had a restaurant, and they had a theater. And I would always play about once every month or month and a half. I'd play in the restaurant as background music for the diners. And the owners would always make a point of coming to hear me, and I was very flattered by that. And it came to pass that in the theater part, they had a play booked for 3 successive weekends. The middle weekend was Valentine's weekend. Well, the play was about a couple getting a divorce. So the owners conferred, and they said, we're not going to have you guys. They canceled that play for that weekend, and they asked me, would you be interested in doing your John Denver show in the theater? And so John and I put that show together, and it was a Saturday show, and that sold out in 10 days. So they added a Friday show, and that sold out in 7 days. So we kind of realized that we had a nice thing going, and we really enjoyed this. And we did a couple of shows, and then my wife and I went to a bluegrass jam very near our home, and Carol was playing there, and I just knocked my socks off. And so afterwards, I walked up to her and I said, my friend John and I are doing this John Denver show. Would you be interested in joining us? She said, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, he loved her. He was desperate for me.
Yeah.
He was a hard sell. So this next song, this is our last song of the first set. So we're going to take a little intermission. This is, depending on which authority you listen to, this is either John Denver's most popular song or his second most popular song. It was played at a ton of weddings. I've played it at a number of weddings. This song was written in 13 minutes. True. John Denver and Annie had just had a huge argument, and then they made up. What do you do after you make up after a terrible argument? You go skiing. You were thinking something else?
Dirty minds.
So he went skiing, drove down from their property up in the Starwood on one side of the hill, drove down into the city of Aspen. And if you've ever skied Aspen, Ajax Mountain comes right down into the city. And so he got on the lift there, and it's a 13-minute ride to the top. He wrote this entire song during those 13 minutes, skied down, went home, and recorded it. I think you'll recognize it.
You fill up my senses like a night in a forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses, come fill me again. Come, let me love you. Let me give my life to you. Let me drown in your laughter. Let me die in your arms. Let me lay down beside you. Let me always be with you. Come, let me love you. Come, love me again. Dee 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 dee. Let me give my life to you. Come, let me love you. Come, love me again. You fill up my senses like a night in a forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses, come fill me again.
Thank you. We'll see you in about 15 minutes.